Hey there guys, today we'll be going over Tracer, so let's jump into it. Number 1, Boop and Loop, aka the titular Tracer combo. While obvious, it's so important I want to include it anyway. It is that important to learn, and even more so to make it consistent. The two requirements: work your ult, and as soon as it's ready, hold off on blinking until you have 2 or 3 ready to go. Now that you're ready, blink, 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 ultimate recall, or blink, blink, ultimate recall. I want to stress that you want to store up a few blinks before you do this, so that once you recall, you can be as far away as possible, and then if you need to come and follow up, you can do so from a different angle. Additionally, do not take your time to line up the perfect bomb. You get in, drop it, and recall immediately. Stay any longer, and you're probably going to get iced. It's okay to toss it on the ground in the middle of a group because often they will backpedal right into it. If not, well, you got out and your ult charges pretty fast anyway, so. Number 2, blink loading. This is a personal technique of mine and one that I'd urge any Tracer player to practice at. Now, it may seem simple, but let me tell you why it's not. For most players, reload is often mapped to either R if you are on PC or X/square if you are on consoles. So to reload quickly, you need to either let off your movement key or aiming stick momentarily, depending on your system of course. That's a big deal for fast twitchy gameplay like Tracer has. So the solution: rebind the key. This is up to you. Personally, I bind a secondary reload on only Tracer to left shift. If I were on consoles, I'd likely map it to one of the bumpers. After this, it's a simple matter of training your muscle memory to hit both the blink and reload at pretty much the same time. Tracer is a very squishy hero, and it's very easy to fall into the mindset of, I want to finish this mag before I blink, which can lead to some quick deaths. With this, you fire for a second, maybe less, blink load, get back on the trigger, and you just keep repeating over and over again. There are 3 main reasons to utilize this technique. 1. You enjoy full range of blink movement. 2. Better utilizes your actual blink time. And finally, 3. Ensures you always have ammo coming out of blink. I would not make this a mandatory technique to learn. It's just something that I've come up with, and I encourage any Tracer player to give it a shot at least and see if it works for them. Number 3, blink pathing. This is an extremely obvious technique and hardly qualifies as a technique. Most players should know about this already, but I'm going to go over it regardless because the point I want to make is about the mindset you should have while playing Tracer. First off, I want to pose a scenario. Here on Watchpoint, many Widows or Hanzos will prowl the catwalks at this stage in the map. In this situation, there's a Hanzo on the catwalk across from you. You are playing Tracer, and it is your job as a Tracer to take out the enemy's back line. How do you do it? Feel free to give the video a pause and think. While there is no correct answer here, if you at least consider blinking straight across, then you have the right mindset. This is a scenario that I ripped straight from a game I played the other day, and I used it multiple times in that same game on both a Hanzo and a Widow when the person switched between the two. They were caught quite off guard and did not react very well to it at all. This is something you'll want to condition your brain to spot and take advantage of whenever you possibly can, and is what allows Tracer to play from a lateral angle like Genji. And for today's extra content, we have 2 techniques. I say techniques, but what I really mean is mechanics. They don't really deserve their own points. They're going to get lumped into this little extra section that I tended to create. Anyway, number 1, recall reload. Something I hadn't noticed until recently, less of a technique and more of a mechanic. Recall will always completely refill your ammo, no matter how much you had at the point you are recalling to. And since it does 3 seconds before, even if you had half ammo at that point, it will refill your ammo as soon as you recall. This is really useful for Tracer versus Tracer fights, so keep it in mind. Number 2, platform recall. Normally when recalling with Tracer, you end up wherever you were 3 seconds earlier, even if you were in midair, with one exception. If you were on a moving platform like the ones on Route 66 or Volskaya, recalling will instead place you back onto the platform wherever it currently is, instead of dropping you in midair where it was. Has its uses, not exactly consistent, so I wanted to throw it in there. It's a nice fun fact. That's all guys, thanks for watching, catch you out there.